Hello, everybody. How's it going? How you doing today, Nihan?
Doing all right, Ak. Good to be working with you today. It's been a very long week, but we have a excellent match tonight between two very, very talented runners that you've seen before in these tournaments. You've seen them go very far in these tournaments. You've seen them on the same team in these tournaments, but now they are against each other. That's right. It's Kyong at 6-0 and Furaime at 5-1. Oh boy, this is gonna be a very, very intense and very good race between these two.
It's definitely a star-studded matchup. Like, if you guys watch Rando and you have not heard of either of these two Runnos, well, you know what? You don't watch A Link to the Past Rando, because, I mean, Kyong, he is the defending champion, still resting at 6-0. Everybody's been like, who's gonna beat this guy? I don't know, man. I don't know if anybody can. But if there is anybody that can, I think his Brazilian brother, Furaime, he could probably do it as well, so.
Indeed. This is definitely going to be an interesting race, and I kind of wonder, are we actually going to get an interview after this race with the winner? it's been a for those who don't know, it's been a very long running meme, multiple times that Furaime will always do an interview after the race.
Yeah. I mean, I could shed some light on that meme too, real quick, since we got some time. Furaime actually has the voice of an angel. If we heard him speak, I mean, there would be hordes of people demanding it forever and ever, and that's why you kind of have the select few that are still doing it. He restricts himself for you guys. He doesn't, do it for his own selfish needs. But it is heavenly to listen to. I've heard him say 2 letters. It was the same letter, but it was great.
Oh boy. And so yeah, I think we're gonna get rolling in a moment here. We've obviously got the 15 minutes that we're counting down. This is our study time for our 2 runners, so they're busy planning everything out at this point, trying to figure out where they're going to go. And I believe we'll have a go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, coming from someone who's done these races, I think you might have done some too. But that 15 minutes, it goes up so fast. Like, you don't even realize. I know a couple times I almost got caught off guard by the timer. But yeah, they basically get 15 minutes to look at all the items and figure out the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, it's the item thing, as we have a... I'm going to try and de-rust my Portuguese here. I got the King of Samaria to start with, but a boa sorte corredores. Or good luck runners.
Please don't do that. I can't handle the pressure.
You can't handle the pressure. No, don't worry, Ak. I will handle it.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's a little rusty. But yeah, we're getting a quick start here, and actually seeing a little bit of a divergence here. This was perhaps a little bit unexpected. We had some pregame discussion about where we thought everybody would go, and Furame's path is, I think, the one we thought they'd take, and then going to Kyong's path. But yeah, we're kind of seeing him, I think, split the difference here. And there's that Moon Pearl, the mail upgrade, and the glove here in the well.
And on the other side, we got a shovel just kind of hanging out there in the secret passage. I guess it's the castle shed now. I don't know. But yeah, I am surprised to see the interesting divergence. To elaborate on what Neon said, we did kind of peek at it, and I will say I looked at it and I was just like, well, at least I'm not running it. I thought I had some ideas, but they get to figure it out,
I think it's a big part of it may simply be a comfort or a decision on what you're more comfortable getting to first here. Kyong just picking up some extra life. Not too bad of an idea here.
Yeah, he's being very diligent on his safeties there. He went, specifically to the back of the tavern to get those 2 bombs, and then grabbed the heart container while he was over in Chicken Hut. And it looks like he's going to be taking some of these bombs down here to the race game. I would imagine. I don't know what else he's going to do down here.
Yeah, there's got to be something like Maze Race, you would think. If you're coming on down here, that's one of the things we were talking about this just a little bit here. Is Kyong is gonna go see what's at the end of Maze Race, and Furaime is gonna go ahead and just open up this chest, get the hammer for his troubles.
Kudos to Furaime with that quick thinking there. The spoiler log does also show hookshot over there in the race game. The spoiler log does show the stun prizes. It shows your tree pulls. It shows your bush crab drops. Furaime knew that he was going to be getting that Samaria and Sanctuary, and was diligent enough to figure out where he could get magic, so he could make that trek all the way to the map chest and the castle to get that hammer.
Yeah, we were talking about, like I was about to say, we were talking about this, but the 15 minutes does give you enough time to go through and look where everything is, but then you have to kind of piece it together here and figure out what your plan of attack is going to be, and that can take a lot longer. As Furaime going ahead and picking up that lantern. Getting the fire source early here.
Also getting a little lucky too, and I mean, he had 2 chances to do this, but he got the 50-50 on that bomb as well. Got 3 bombs, that's great, and that was really good for him because we knew he needed to get the maze race. Meanwhile, Kyong over here doing Dark Death Mountain with literally nothing but echolocation. This is great too because I got his audio. It's like I'm closing my eyes and I can hear where he's at in the cave.
It's kind of true. We all can kind of do that. That's kind of the thing when you have the sword, like Kyong knows where he needs to go. So that's not a problem. The problem is without that sword, you can't really see when you're pressing up against the wall or not, and you kind of don't know where you are up and down along that wall. So you're trying to figure that out. Now Furaime's going to have a lot less difficult time doing this because he's got the lamp. So obviously he'll be able to see where he's going. And Kyong makes that in one piece.
But that lamp did cost Furaime a couple of transitions, and you know, spoiler log, that's really all it can take to be the difference between a win and a loss.
Yep. Can certainly be the case, Ak. One of the things that you have to keep in mind here is both of these runs, not just because these are 2 very good runners, but simply for the fact that you know where you need to go. Everything is going to be optimized. You're not going to be opening anything in these chests that you know you don't need. Unless the exception is you either wrote something down wrong or you just kind of forgot which chest it was in. Have to open 3 or 4 to figure out, oh yeah, it's this one.
Does that happen? I don't think that's happened once this tournament.
Oh no, everyone's got perfect memory, and they've got a photographic memory. They just look at the list and they're good to go.
Alright. Looks like we're fishing up a mirror, hanging out over here in Paradox Cave. Furaime will be getting his glove and Moon Pearl over here. And that's it for Death Mountain, so we're done. And by done, I mean we're going right back, so.
We're actually going to blind set here. I don't think we saw this from Kyong's side. So, it's a good little bit of divergence here. Let's see
Maybe grabbing some
what
safeties,
Furaime's going
maybe
for.
a couple bucks.
Yeah, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Oh, a whole lot of bucks.
Unfortunately, that stupid monkey still exists in this game and charges a 110 rupee fee to enter his dungeon. But those were the boots on Spectacle Rock, so maybe his trip through the darkness was very much worth it.
I think so. He's got the mirror. He's got the Moon Pearl. So he's got everything you need to go ahead and climb up there and take it. And you don't have to go into Harry. You don't have to go to the Paradox. And presumably, with the save and quit, wasn't even thinking about going and doing Spiral Cave there. Getting the book though.
The Book of Medora is the official trademark of the Spoiler Log tournament, so nobody's allowed to use it while this tournament's going on.
I was gonna say it should be required that everyone has to go get it, even if it's not required.
Yeah.
Just because, like, how else will you know where to go?
I mean, we were originally going to Done whenever they got the book, but holy crap, would this race have been really boring?
Yep.
Ah, dang it! I started at Sanctuary. GG, you know.
I guessed wrong.
So Kyong coming over here to get his shovel, so he's going to be getting his lamp as well.
So between that and the book, I'm thinking Desert Palace early here. Because you're going to need the fire source to get to the back.
Still a little tough to see who's come out ahead here between both of them here. They're kind of doing the same things, but in a little bit of a messy order.
Mhm.
I feel like Furaime had the right idea, but I think he was a little confused on his last step there.
I
He just
think,
wanted to go to saw how to get the flippers first. Never mind, that makes
yeah,
sense.
I think it's gonna be though probably. I think you'll see Kyong probably head into Desert Palace first. Prime did have a few extra checks picking up the rupees, so that will. It's not gonna be like too big of a difference between these two. They're both very talented runners, but still, those extra checks, a couple extra frames, and I think Kyong's probably gonna go ahead and pick up those flips later. Doesn't really need him to do Desert Palace, so I could easily see Desert Palace play in just a moment here.
So he'll be getting his hammer. And I'm sure Kyong probably hasn't forgotten that he needs money to open pod. If there is any story to his success, I mean, it's not only that he plays very well, but he is very methodical and well thought out with his routes. It's, it seems like he can almost stop time when he goes through those spoiler logs because he seems to always have a really, really good route given the limited amount of time he gets to look at the log.
I would say so. There's a reason why Kyong is 6-0, right now. Nobody's beaten him yet.
So yeah, definitely getting his lamp. You think he'll go back to those dark rooms in Death Mount just to see what they look like because he was curious? I don't think he will.
I think he's good.
Okay, alright, cool. Just making sure.
I think when you've played enough Rando, you don't really need to remember what those rooms look like. You can kind of see them in your head.
Alright. So for making it out the easy way using his lamp, Kyong is heading over to what presumes to be Desert Palace. He's got all the tools he needs to complete it.
Yep, that's. I was kind of thinking that, looking at what Kyong had picked up, thinking that, if you went and got that lamp, the Desert Palace was definitely going to be the first dive here, and just skip the flippers for now. Not necessarily needed till we get to diving into Swamp Palace as a crystal. Maybe a couple other checks that might be helpful to have the flips for, but not on high priority yet.
Oh, I wonder what could be so important in here. Wow, that was a sick little bonk. I think I've seen that before and I forgot about it, and now I've seen it again, and now I've remembered, but it is still just as cool about the time I saw it before and forgot about it. Wow, that's really neat. I need to remember that next time.
That's one of the great things about being involved as both a commentator and just from watching, is you just, like, when you're commentating these things, you just pick up little things here and there, and you're just like, wow, this runner does this and this runner does that differently, and that's a good idea. I think I might just steal that.
Frame heading off to the Dark World. That is not where Mr. Kyong 6-0 went. So we got a little bit of routing divergence again.
Going over to Hype Cave, though.
Oh, yes. Hey, there's a sword hanging out in the torch. I could see why we definitely wanted those boots outside of just going fast.
Ooh. Here's Bombos. We're going to need that for Turtle Rock. Meal. Last meal upgrade and half magic. Those are some nice... it's a bombs era. All nice safeties to pick up.
That spin speed there made my heart drop a little,
Ooh.
You gotta be careful not to get knocked off the ledge, but when you're as good as him, it doesn't matter. But for us plebs, it still scares me every time.
Yeah, we got a big divergence here, though, Ak. Somebody is going into Swamp Palace first.
Yeah, and I mean, he has everything he can. He needs to clear Swamp Palace. It'll be really interesting to see who gets the better of this exchange. It kind of seems like who's going to be doing Swamp faster? The one with the fighter sword or the one without it?
Yeah. I guess depending on what the situation is with items in the chest here, this may be I guess we would call it a go mode Swamp Palace where you just go straight to the back. But
I mean, if the first 3 chests were swords, I think this, would probably work out pretty well. But swordless Argus is not fast, but I'm sure there's probably a good reason he's going in here. I'm
Yeah.
cheating because I know there's a good reason he's going in here, but
Oh, yeah,
even
we
if
know-
I didn't
we know why.
Yeah.
We
Ooh,
just
and
have to
got
play
some
stupid.
Hammer Lambo going. This is not
Oh yeah.
simplest thing going on over here,
Nope.
but
Let's make it look easy.
okay. I think that was 4 or 5 cycles. Interesting. And I can see the value of the trade-off now, you know, knowing what we know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as leaderboards are concerned, Kyong is now indefinitely in the lead. He has 1 crystal. Furaime has 0. We'll see if Furaime can hold on to that lead. That's all that matters. It looks like we're going to be setting up here for full little diver down. The hottest tech of 2019.
I love seeing this. I love these new little bits of tech. Icebreaker and Diver Down they're both really fun to see. Oh, that would be certainly. Oh, yeah, that would certainly be worth it.
Alright. So it looks like the big trade-off here for him would be electing to do Swamp swordless. He's going to do the boss swordless, whereas Kyong had to do Landmo without, you know, a Fire Rod, Ice Rod, or Silvers or anything like that.
Yeah, so there's definitely a trade-off there, and it's one of the things when we're talking routing that you really have to think about. You know, what are you comfortable with doing, and even what's going to save more time, and you know, you have options here, but it really just becomes a question of, you know, what are you more comfortable with doing quick? What do you think is going to work better?
Ooh, and there goes Kyong. He picked up that extra chest in the back, which was 50 rupees. So maybe he does have a grand plan here of getting his rupees out a little quicker. Was Frame fire rodding these puffs? I saw a fire rod shot, and I refuse to disbelieve that I didn't. Okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, let's get doing the menu. This little menu here. Ooh, there's a bow. Hello.
Alright, so there's our bow on pyramid. So Kyong is going to head back. Right here, I guess. On these bushes. We know he's going to need his flippers over from Saha so he can get the fire rod in the midst from Swamp. Oh, we're going to Uncle? Is he just going to be picking up money here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, so he's trying to do Eastern and Pot at the same time. I see. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, excellent one cycle there on Argus there.
Absolutely. I was gonna say there's a little bit of trivia here. There's been one runner between these two that has played both Kyong and Furaime. You know who that is?
In the spoiler log?
Yes, in the spoiler log tournament, one runner has played both of these two.
What? Was it Airy?
Nope.
Was it Gerdo?
It's both. No, it's some good guesses. I know Kyong has played both of those and beaten them. So the answer actually Pika Pals has played them.
Pika Pals.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pika Pals is the one loss that Furaime has right now is to Pika Pals, and then Kyong just played Pika Pals in the last round and beat them. So yeah, Pika Pals also 5-1 here. Having a very good tournament.
And 5-1, also to note, is good enough to advance you to the brackets. They're taking the top 8 from the Switch. They get to go play in the bracket stage.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Furaime and Kyong are both advancing regardless.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
But I promise that's not going to change any of the competitive nature. In fact, it might make them play even harder.
Oh yeah. You know, if you're Kyong, you want to go 7-0. Just go ahead and complete your perfect Swiss here. And if you're Furaime, you know, you just want to go ahead and get a win here. Get a nice 6-1. Make it a nice 6-1 between the two top runners.
I mean, they're both Brazilian. Both of them actually played each other not that long ago in the qualifiers. They both made the finals, I think, for the SG Live qualifiers. I mean, these two have matched up against each other countless times. Like, they hate each other. No one wants to lose to each other. I can vouch that they can't stand each other, and nothing makes them more upset when they lose to each other. So they always bring out the best. I think some of what I said is true, but that's a Master Sword from the Torch in Desert Palace. And yeah, they have the co-op world record in NMG as well.
Yes.
So they can put aside their difference to, you know, do some greatness every now and then. This is all just happening so fast, I'm trying to take it in, but Furaime took that extra trip over to get the flippers, but that's going to get him his mitts and Fire Rod faster. He's going to have a faster Landmo fight. Kyong went in the Dark World and got his bow, so he can just kind of knock all this stuff out all in one go. I have no freaking clue what's faster. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I didn't know. I feel like we're not going to know till we actually get somebody into GT at this point.
Yeah. But we got to talk about something. I don't know.
Yeah, we do. Well, we'll talk about the strategies and whatnot, but we may not have an idea of who's in the lead for a bit time till we get a little bit more convergence here, and who knows? These two may just decide.
I just want to know.
To go all over the place.
And relatively speaking, man, looking at Furaime's side, he is lacking an Ice Rod to finish this seed. So that's it. And well, Ice Rod and the bow. I'm sorry. The Ice Rod's the only thing we don't know about. And that'll be crystal number 2. So just like that, Kyong's lead has been literally cut in half. Furaime has now taken the 1 crystal lead.
Yeah, this is pretty intense.
Completely arbitrary. So
yeah, so the interesting thing maybe is, do we have a difference here of going to dungeons that you can just complete in order versus going into dungeons that you can complete, but you also get items and stuff out of pretty quick? Because we know that Furaime has already gone through Swamp Palace, and there were 3 items in there. So that was a slightly longer play because of the fact that he was doing it swordless, but it was a very good value play as far as items getting.
Yeah, it really does seem like they kind of got hedged between the Due Eastern area a little bit later with the bow, this and that, Fire Rod, Landmo, or Hammer Landmo, no Sword Argus or Sword Argus. It was like you couldn't do both.
Right. So my expectation here is to probably see Furaime follow Kyong into Palace of Darkness, and then immediately, I assume both of them will do Eastern Palace right after. That seems like the smart play. You know, reduce the amount of times you're dipping into dungeons and reduce the amount of time you're going between dungeons. So let's get the mirror out.
That was a pretty clean Helm Sword from Kyong there.
Nope.
Pretty much almost had it down pat, but kind of got bopped a little bit, but not even a big
Furaime's
deal.
going to Hobo for something.
Well, if he's going to get items here, just looking at what we need, I'll say is the Ice Rod or leading up to it.
Probably.
That could be a sword too.
Oh yeah, it's Ice Rod.
I know I sounded smug there. I knew it was the Ice Rod. That's the only reason why I had the courage to do that. Alright. Well, for all extensive purposes, that's go mode for Furaime. Kyong's having nothing to do that. He's caught up to his 2 crystal lead, or 2 crystal tie now, working on his 3rd. Will Furaime ever be able to catch up? We'll probably will not know who's in the lead or not in the lead until we're opening Turtle Rock, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think TR is definitely going to be the very last dungeon here.
Something pretty important to note, and I mean, this does come into play. Kyong has 6 hearts, Furaime has 5. We have no bottles. We've got... I guess we do have Birna, so that's nice. We have no powder. Really no way to refill your health. I mean, you gotta walk over spikes and stuff, and the GT climb, and
Yeah, that's
all kinds of silly things.
Yeah, it's all about your confidence. How confident do you feel? Because we've seen some different strategies throughout the tournament. We've seen people go ahead and pick up extra safeties, and we've seen some people who have decided to take the gamble and roll like low percent and just be like, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I can and hope that I don't die. And if I die, well, that's probably game over for me.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the huge struggles of the spoiler log tournament. Was, I mean, it's probably not. It still is tough to figure out an optimal route, but figuring an optimal route, to play to the best of your abilities. Like if you just skip everything, you have no hearts. Whenever you get into a tricky position, you could slow down so much more than you would have based on picking up those 2 or 3 extra heart containers.
Yeah, that's always a important thing to consider, is especially because of the fact that if you have to go early Dark World, it's going to be really tough to do that on Green Mail 3-4 hearts, because everything still hits as hard as what it expects you to have at that point, which is a lot more hearts and probably at least the blue mail.
Yeah, I mean, like a Birdo will literally just take you out in one hit, no matter how many times you walk back and die to him. But Kyong is getting his 3rd crystal, so I'll just say he's flat out in the lead right now, because I can.
So now becomes the interesting question: is where does Kyong go next? Is it going to be Swamp Palace? I believe so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he'll probably do Swamp Palace, and yeah, I mean, I guess he'll... I don't know where he'll mirror to get his Ice Rod. Whether he'll mirror outside of Swamp, swim up, or go the other way around. Or Lord knows I know what's faster, but I will say if anybody knows, Kyong probably does, so... But yeah, after this, I would say, they have to do Thieves Town, Ice Palace. If they do that in the same order, that should be a pretty clear point of conversion. Actually, Kyong will probably just go do Ice Palace and Mirror, and then he'll go do Hobo after that.
Probably. I think that's a fairly safe option for your routing choices. I wouldn't be surprised if Furaime also heads over to Ice Palace, actually. You have less transitions going from a Dark World, or even going from Light World, Eastern Palace, just to get over to Lake Hylia.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. See, we don't have a flute right now, so...
Right, so you can't just flute the 8 and then jump in the water.
Yeah, I kind of like what Kyong is doing here now. He's kind of... Almost seems like he picked his dungeons orders to kind of complement the fact that he wasn't going to be, well, presumably not getting a flute this run. They're probably not getting a flute this run, spoiler.
Probably not. If you haven't picked it up by now, you're not picking it up at all. Yeah, I feel like the play here is going to be Fraime's going to go and do Eastern Palace and then probably go over to Ice Palace, and Kyong will do the same after Swamp Palace here. We'll leave Thieves Town as the 6th crystal, and then obviously TR will be the last one.
Yeah, I mean, they could do... I mean, Kyong's definitely going to go to Ice. I think Furaime, he can go Thieves, he can go Ice. I don't really think it's going to make any of a difference, because I think he's going to have to save and quit to do either or. Think.
No, not really. It depends if he wants to...
Walk from Eastern?
Yeah, well, you could dash from Eastern. That's a couple of transitions. Probably the same amount if you saved and quit.
Think so?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't counted quite so much. It might be a little bit quicker if he saves and quits on number of transitions he has to make, but with the save and quit time, maybe it may. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good question. These are the things we don't normally think about, though, because they're not normal patterns that we take.
And we've been freed from the tyranny of the save and quit delay. I don't know if that's going to be a factor in any of their decisions either.
All right.
But we're just making our motions here. Furaime is gliding through Eastern. Kyong is going to be doing Argus without menus.
So this will be a lot quicker. But he's only on one sword, so it's gonna be actually a little bit slower. But a little bit slower on the actual kill, but faster on the pulling them and actually pulling them part, because you're not gonna have to switch back and forth every time.
Can pull Tula once if you hear, but
yeah,
sometimes it's a little weird.
Yeah, I always have trouble with that. Like I can pull 2, and then I end up having like one of them float all the way back, and I'm just like, why am I doing this?
What's the point? Yeah.
I gotta pull this one a second time.
But it looks like Kyong is actually going. Well, see, the thing is, Furaime does have that ice rod. So those transitions are there. Yeah, this looks so flipping close.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is great.
Yeah, this is very close between these two.
Both literally in the same cutscene, holding up their 4th crystal. Furaime just has that ice rod, but Kyong is a little closer to the dungeon and ice rod than Furaime is.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get the save and quit. Ooh. Furaime is going over to do Thieves Town.
That's great, because then we definitely won't know who's in the lead until they do Total Rock. They're doing this on purpose because they're listening to us. They were like,
They are.
Let's just keep it all messed and jumbled up. I don't want them. We don't want to spoil any of the suspense.
I need a full copy of the chat logs from SRL after this. Just I need to see like Ak and Nihan are talking about us doing this.
They're speaking.
You want to change it? You want to change?
I can't understand them.
You want to change everything? Yeah, let's change everything.
So with Samaria in hand, I think Kyong will be setting up for an icebreaker. Furaime is doing also one of the more impossible things in Thieves Town, which is skipping all of these 4 chests and going to the ones you need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very impressive there. And then people who skip blind sell, like, you can basically just consider them spoiler log gods based on that clue alone. And I've also never seen anybody in their life go to that staircase in Thieves Town. I don't even think I knew it existed. Nice correction there for Kyong doing his icebreaker also. Also doing his due diligence, not forgetting that key. Furaime getting the harmless Hellway dash.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are throwing any punches right now. Everybody is top tier execution. Hope they're gonna keep this up till the finish line. Oh man, that's
Absolutely.
so swag.
I mean, we were joking about it, but these two aren't gonna give an inch to each other. They're gonna race each other clean but fair, as we like to say in the racing world.
You still gotta look at their hard count and sweat a little bit. I mean, they got red mail, but there's a couple of things that, they don't really care about red mail.
Mm-hmm. This will be a nice little start to the Cold Stare fight. I think Bombo's obviously going to go for that. I'm going to try and see
like
Kyong.
this idea.
Yeah, back him up into the corner.
This is top left corner. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, usually it's top right.
Speaking of top right, if you look at your Twitch, also in the top right corner, there's a follow button. If you could click that top right button for our runners, Kyong, 92, and Furaime, they would greatly appreciate it.
Indeed.
But only do that if you want to be following like the best there is when it comes to rando runners. Else, don't worry about it. So do it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Kyong now out of Ice Palace. Looks like you were dead on with that little bit of intel there, Ak. Looks like Kyung's gonna head up and get that ice rod.
I was right about something. It was probably luck. So.
And Furaime
Nice
going
point,
ahead
Furaime.
and getting the pattern down. Very easy. It's the same thing every time. If you don't die on it, first time's always the same. And now Kyung's gonna head over to get that Thieves Town, while Furaime is gonna head over to Ice Palace. There's save and quit here. Yep.
All right. This is the moment that chat has been waiting for. I will tell you with 100% accuracy that whoever gets out of this next crystal cutscene first is going to be the one that's in the lead. You have my guarantee on it. Is the moment that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable estimation there, Ak.
Yeah.
Given that after this they're both going to the same place.
The race is also the winner too. I can go
Right.
on these for days. Like, this is easy for me.
Whoever doesn't win came in second. Yeah, but this is it's going to still be very interesting, even when we get into Turtle Rock, just to see their execution, because they're both exceptionally skilled runners, and their execution is going to be great. But it will be very interesting to see if someone's got a trick up their sleeve that might pull something a little bit closer here. I don't know.
I mean, it's not even that, but when you get to this level of caliber, minor mistakes turn into major mistakes. You just you don't have that time to give opponents of this quality. I haven't seen any yet. As far as they're both perfect in my eyes. I'm not gonna have to pick between my two children. I won't do it. But somebody does have to be crowned a winner.
Yeah, what we're seeing here actually looks like Furaime is going to go and do the icebreaker here through the right side, which is probably the smart call, because that's going to save him a lot of time. I want to see how quick he does this, because oh, wow,
it's pretty good.
That's very quick.
I'm going to clip that so I can learn how to do that later.
Yay. Normally it takes a little bit of setup, and Furaime's just like going in, just like, yeah, I got this.
And you can just see the confidence on Furaime's side. Like, he doesn't care that he's got 6 hearts. He just walks over the spikes like no business. Kyong is giving Lionel's hugs. They're so good. Excuse me, Lionel's.
That stair entry from Furaime, holy cow. That was cool to see. I think if I've seen that, I haven't seen that in a very long time, but wow.
I think Kyong did it, so it wasn't that long ago you saw it.
Okay. I just missed it then. I think I was paying attention to the other screen. That is so cool to see that. Like all these little
awesome.
almost like swag strats in a way. Like you don't have to do it like that, but you do it because you can.
I mean, it's a time save, so it's not a swag strat.
Right.
It's just one of those
That's
time
true.
saves that if you do it, it's really cool and you do save time. If you messed it up, then you lose quite a bit more time than you were going to save.
Yeah. And it's also seeing Furaime go to the top left here on this setup. Wow.
And his kill was a little bit quicker. He's actually going to be the one picking up this crystal just a little bit faster. And by a little bit faster, I mean, God, what is this, 10, 15 seconds?
Yeah. It's still not over, though. Like, oh, it's certainly still not over. Just super quick here. So let's, we're going to see save and quits from both of them. They're going to go right up to the old man.
I mean, this race is literally a dead rock's time worth of difference. This is incredible.
I got 8 seconds on the on the menuing there. That's what I've got for the distance right now between these two.
One successful bull ride difference. These two. Sorry, it would have been a Dead Rock's a little bit longer. Oh, and I'd figure something out.
Oh, and we're getting a raid here from the fine folks at SpeedGaming. Hello, friends. You have wandered on into a spoiler tournament match here between two of our top runners in the tournament, and both of them are in. They're in the top
same
8
building. They're sharing the
Yes.
same air conditioning. That's how close this race is.
Probably, yeah. I would not be surprised. Oh, Dead Rock.
I didn't. Furaime, don't do it.
Oh,
Please don't do it.
okay. He's through. Kyong also having a little bit of Dead Rock problem there, but choosing to use choosing not to wait and instead just dashing over, resetting the Dead Rock, and then going back the other way. That might have been a little bit quicker. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
oh man.
It was probably like it's been a long time, maybe 2 years ago, but exactly
Holy cow.
what just happened there. Furaime was blocked by the Dead Rock, but he knew he could just do a tiny boot clip to get past it.
Mhm.
And he did that to save 5 seconds and knew it was against the rules and forfeited, but he said it was worth it. This happened like 2 years ago, and I saw him doing it there, and I got a little nervous. We have some interesting divergence going on. Furaime,
Oh my, he's going
over
to
to
get
the
something.
cave.
What is in here that he wants? Because that was about like 3-second difference between the two of them. There's something in here that Frame wanted. The heart? Is that what it was? No, something in this last chest. Oh,
Okay,
he's picking up some
grabbing
extra heart.
2
Okay,
hearts. Okay.
interesting. Well, I guess he was at what, 6? So they're pretty even on health.
Hopefully that's not indicative about how he's feeling about his Turtle Rock, because he did elect to spend 2 extra screen transitions to do that.
Yep.
Versus doing Turtle Rock and then doing it for GT, so it seems like he wanted the health for Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Which is understandable, because there's
right.
like literally a million things here that do way too much damage.
Yep.
But with that said, he did give up, though. I mean, those extra screen transitions, you can see them right now as Kyong has taken a little bit of a lead back. But, you know, if Kyong goes and gets that hearts, it'll even back up.
That's true.
If Kyong also dies in Ganon's tower because he didn't pick up those hearts, then I would imagine Furaime would have a little bit of an edge as well if he doesn't die. So, I mean, it could all work out.
Yeah, I guess it's all risk versus reward at this point, really. You're just you've got your path set out. When you're this deep into the seed, I mean, we're 40 minutes in, we're already in TR. So this is a very, very fast seed between 2 very fast runners. Both of them will probably easily run on their sub-hour. So there's not a whole lot of time left. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I guess really it's just a matter of like risk versus reward and how aggressive you want to be on your late game.
And something that I did not miss because I'm a bad commentator and wasn't paying attention. Kyong had Birna, so he was able to use iframes to dash through that roller room. Furaime doesn't have that, so he kind of had to play it a little bit safer. It did cost him some time, and he also got hit. And he also got hit by those chain chomps too, so given what's going on, I think picking up those hearts was the right choice.
Yeah, considering that right now he'd be at half a heart otherwise, that's probably not a bad idea. I think Kyong just going to go ahead, knowing that we don't need anything in the big chest, and go ahead and just skip it.
I hate Vanilla Big Key and Turtle Rock. Is the worst. Wow. Was the Big Key vanilla? I thought it was.
It
Boy,
was. Uh-oh.
That's unfortunate. He's got to go back and get that.
Yeah, that's still not over, but that's just kind of unfortunate.
That insult to injury too is he used those pegs to block himself from the anti-fairy, but he still got it anyways.
Kyong going to laser bridge. What do we got here? This last chest.
Probably
Key.
a small key.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But it ain't over till it's over. I've seen a myriad of things happen on Ganon.
Oh yeah.
I've seen things happen in GT. Heck, man, I've seen things happen. You can literally just get mugged by a Lionel on your way to do the crystal cutscene.
Mm-hmm. You can get mugged by a Lionel. You can have You could be like me and just get caught and passed in GT.
If you don't have a tempered sword, you're not dashing right by them. You know, they'll try to take your lunch money still.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Look at this
nice
setup from
hammerback
Kyong. Yeah.
Ooh, that hit was so weird. I'm pretty sure he tried to menu there, but that hit almost looked like it was a clank, and I don't think he was certain that he registered a hit, so that's why he didn't get the menu off to the fire rod, so he could start working on the other head. Even that one kind of made me scratch my head a little. Oh. Little body damage, but excellent hammer fight there from Kyong.
Mm-hmm. So, Ak, now that Kyong is taken care of, try next.
One.
No, we have to guess where it's gonna be, like location.
Oh, we guess where it is. Oh, give me a second. Let me guess.
I was gonna say we don't do the number because we know the runners know and we know where it's at. So it's kind of not as good to guess number, but location. We certainly can guess location.
Yeah. Hopefully you can't hear my mouse wheel scrolling like a 2019 qualifier here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that the GT big key is gonna be very early.
I was gonna say we talked about this before the match. We know where it's at.
No, I'm just guessing. That's why my guess was 1. All right, and it's not fair that I don't, get to do my normal guess just because it's a spoiler log race. And you know what? I have a feeling that my guess is gonna be wrong here. So.
Yep, because Kyong was going to go ahead and steal the key on the left side anyways, and this one. So there's your one. There's your one.
Even when I'm cheating, I can't win. It really is rando.
There's going to be 2, though. I did see a guess in chat. An orange Koopa. I know you guessed Hope Room right chest. That's exactly where it's at.
He guessed that?
Yeah, orange Koopa, Hope Room right chest. It's in the chat right there.
Oh my god. That was a fantastic guess.
Yeah. And judging by Koopa's expression, it seems to be like a normal guess, and they're like, well, I got it right.
This is really interesting. Kyong is going down here for
something.
It could be silvers, could be a sword. Could be a sword.
It's gotta be something. It's gotta be something to value, obviously. Oh, but having to. Oh, Refty.
All right.
There we go. There's.
So he's going to be doing his climb now. Interestingly enough, I know where that last sword is. And this could give Furaime a little bit of an advantage, but it really all depends on how well he's going to do it. I suppose it's not that big of a deal, but I could let you chat know that there is a sword upstairs in GT, but then you would be climbing GT without the Master Sword. So it's your call. But Furaime does need to make up a little bit of time. Kyong did make up some time in the Turtle Rock. But Frame is actually just going to go ahead and get that Tempered Sword, so they're not going to worry about it.
Yep.
I don't know what I would do there. I mean, it's kind of nice having Tempered for this. At least I think that sword goes up there. I didn't check. I took your guys' word for it.
I think this is probably the more accessible sword.
Oh, what? But definitely Kyong's race to Lucy's in the driver's seat. He really just needs to have a clean climb. He needs to have a clean Ganon. Furaime is going to make up a little bit of time there, knowing which one bottom left is, but gonna lose it by dashing into a hole.
It's I'm actually looking through the spoiler log right now. I think I don't think it's actually up in the top here.
Okay, it wasn't? Alright.
The smart play, no. I can see why we might have thought that though, because it's right next to a location that is up in the top.
But he said that. Wait, where is it?
It's in the big key room.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind.
Behind the Armos Knights. Yeah. Definitely not worth it compared to the Compass Room one.
Never mind.
Yeah. Not worth it at all. But yeah, Kyong making quick work of the most satisfying room in the game part 1, and there goes part 2. So really, the difference between these two is just a gauntlet climb at this point. That's kind of where Furaime is at this point at the bottom, as Kyong is just finishing up and can head up to 6th floor.
Yeah, you guys can reveal the Silver's location.
Yeah, we could talk about that. It's on Mothula. So yeah, neither of them are gonna go get that.
In the dungeon. Who's gonna do that?
Unnecessarily. It's like such a pain in the butt. You're not gonna you're not gonna go do that. So
Kyong skipping the 5th sword in the mini Helmosaur room. I guess I had some bad intel on that one, so I apologize for the misinformation. Doing his due diligence to get his magic.
Yeah, for those who don't know, in the spoiler log, the mini Helmosaur room and the big key room chests are literally right next to each other on the list. So it's very, very easy to kind of be reading that really quickly and then be like, oh yeah, it's here. And then it's like, oh no, it's not.
But man, everything has been smooth as butter so far for Kyong.
And Furaime's having a pretty smooth climb as well. Just, being behind a couple floors at this point. And hey! Another fun game we get to play. Saga 2.
What game do we play here?
What's the pattern? 2.
Left. Oh.
How many balls is Kyong gonna shoot back into him? 2? 2-2? I think, unless that was a simultaneous hit. Oh. Oh, 0 there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Getting that blue ball at the same time, you gotta be doing that shot, always sucks.
Ooh.
This Agatu is leaving a little bit to be desired. Yep. Furaime is going to inch and scream his way back in. Kyong sitting at just a heart and a half. And yeah, I'm sure he knows.
There's room here for him to kind of make a little bit of pull back a little bit of time here for 2 reasons. 1, low health for Kyong. 2,
well,
that 220101 that we saw, that was not optimal.
Being a gentleman's agreement here, Furaime heard that Kyong lost all of his health, so he decided to ditch all of his too, getting that key. So, but Kyong did get the spin off the torch, so looking good for a 1-1 here. Definitely wants to make sure he doesn't get pegged by this bat. Furaime taking the ball, losing a heart.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, but it seems like Kyong has made it past the more stressful parts of the Ganon fight. Really just needs Torch Glitch and stay away from any stray fire bats. And he will be moving on to 7-0.
Mm-hmm. And don't fall down. Did you find the arrows in Skullwoods? No, but you knew they were there. Spoiler log.
Oh, why did we tell them where the silvers were? They could have just... We could have had Ganon tell them, and we saved our breath.
Right. Well, they also knew where they're at.
That was a nice skit there for that hit.
Yeah, he's doing good work here.
That upper one, always so tricky to get to, but it is looking good for him so far. I'm thinking like 1 or 2 more spins, and that should do us in.
Yep. Not much longer now.
I said 1 or 2 more spins, and that... Alright, there we go. And GG's to Kyong.
Indeed, there is one standing atop the mountain right now at the end, at the near end here of the round robin stage. One standing undefeated, 7-0. Kyong is going to cross that little bridge and finish with an official SRL time of 1:08:35. So 53:35 for the actual seed time. Very nicely done. Get those GGs in chat.
Is he the only one that's undefeated too?
Yep. There's only one.
And he won the last one.
Yep. Yeah. Everyone else has got one, or everyone else who's made it this far has got 1 or 2 losses. So Furame's gonna drop the 5-2, but still is finishing up the last little bits again here. We'll still actually, even at 5-2, still gonna be in that top 8. So still gonna be moving on.
And we also got joined by the legendary, the previous champion, the undefeated, the Vamos Kyong God. Man, GG's, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. For him having a little bit of a difficulty there, running into a fire bat, unfortunately. And it looks like it's going to be a forfeit on Frame's part. Just probably, just going to finish out the round robins with that, but definitely get those GGs in chat for Frame. We'll be seeing more of them in the near future. But yeah, GG's, Kyong. Nice, very nice seed. Or a very nice run, I should say.
2-3.
I know you watched the other restreams. Could you tell that you were behind going up to your Turtle Rock? Because, I mean, at that point, you got to be, thinking stream delay or whatnot. I don't know how good you are about timing it.
I had his stream open, which has the timer, so I was keeping track of, pendant crystal catch times and stuff. So I knew I was, 10 seconds behind, something like that, right?
How do you do all that while you're playing?
Yeah. That's not good.
You won the last one, you're undefeated, then you just watch everyone and take detailed notes as you're doing it. What flavor of Powerade are you drinking? Because I mean that's incredible.
Water. A lot of water.
Water is the secret, guys. Okay.
Who knew the secret Kyong's secret to success is something that's covering 2/3 of the earth? It's like the reverse of that one movie. I don't want to spoil which one it is. But yeah, definitely looks like you had a very strong idea of routing and what dungeons you were going into there. Obviously, this is a spoiler log, so you have some idea. But one of the things I was wondering about was the early climb up Death Mountain there with the hook shot. Was that as not fun going through the dark part of Death Mountain with the old man as it looked like?
Yeah, I wish I had one blip of magic just so I could use the Candle Samaria there or something. That definitely slowed me down quite a lot. I did get quite semi-lost there because It's kind of weird when you're like hugging a wall and want to try to use hook shot and it just doesn't do anything. Sometimes it can throw you off of like when you're trying to locate yourself.
Yeah, because if it doesn't like do anything or something, because you're in that weird spot, you could think you're like in the transition or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I was kind of I wasn't sure which route to take because the other option was what Furaime basically did, which was swamp into desert, but I really didn't want to go into swamp sword, so I decided to just go to desert early.
Was the pod money thing? Was that planned for you to mirror after Bo to get the 50 from Uncle?
No, definitely not.
Okay. I don't want to call you out.
In my original route, I was going to do that later, but I forgot that I actually need flippers to do swamp rain, so I needed to push towards that region earlier than I wanted to. So that ended up like I didn't have the money prepared then, and was just scrambling. Okay, I know just beside flippers there's 20 rupees there. I need another 20 somewhere. And in the middle there, while I was going to get bow, I found that the uncle had 20. So alright, I'll just mirror and get that there, I guess.
Yeah, that struck me a little odd there when it was like, all right, what's he gonna go do? But yeah, no, good job at least figuring that out on the fly. That's still not easy to do. Some people would just panic and throw their controller in the air. But yeah, definitely a sick run. Everything. Yeah, everything was really, really nice. I mean, no bottle, no powder. You did have the red mail, but it's still kind of weird because you'd like to have full health going into the end because things can get a little hairy,
Yeah, especially with spike damage. Sometimes you want sword beams and all that. And with two swords inside GT, a bow on Mophila, was kind of rough.
Yeah. I did chuckle a little bit at that. I was studying while you guys were studying, but... And if you watch this back too, ignore my bad information about where the swords were in GT. That was my fault.
Happens. It's like we were talking about. Sometimes it's really difficult to remember where some of these locations are. Just simply because they're so compact there, you can easily write down a slightly wrong location.
Yeah. And slightly wrong in spoiler log usually is ultimately wrong.
Yeah, well,
6-minute boots, that's always nice though.
it is.
I'm not a gambling man either. I will say that your menu time was probably significantly better than Furaime's, but we'll never know that one, I suppose. It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I haven't done swordless Argus in a while.
Total menu time 1 minute 39 seconds. That's pretty good.
I think I saw Furaime fire rotting the puffs. I don't know if that was a mismenu or not, or if he was just doing that, but I also could have been making that up.
It could have even been an accidental one,
Yeah.
You have the fire because the fire rod was right before. That was the last item that you picked up before you went into Argus, I think.
I see.
Some minute got that out and forgot that. Oh yeah, you switched the hammer. You missed me. I'm just saying. I need a fire rod. I decided to use it. Well, I can appreciate that. That's may as well just be like, I'll go for it.
I mean, I liked it. I was just like, what? I'd never seen that before, and new things really confused me.
Fun fact, Argos in Randomizer can be in logic without Sword and Hammer if you have Fire Rod and enough magic.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think I've ever seen that be utilized, but I would like to, just because I would like to see all the salty tears from the people who ran that race. Sick. Have you, I know you're pretty methodical about things. Have you done any early bracket predictions to see who you think you might be playing?
Oh, it's still kinda, well,
Pretty
there's not.
open?
Yeah, it's quite open still. There's like half of the matches left still, a little bit less, I guess, and a lot of big matches still coming up to decide those last few spots. So who knows?
Okay. I mean, whoever you play, there's probably a pretty good chance you already played them getting here, and then with a record of 7-0, you're just kind of like, I mean, I'm just doing the motions. It's no big deal, right?
I don't feel I don't feel as confident as everybody makes it to seem, but yeah. Anyways.
Well, even if you don't feel that confident, when you're playing, you look that confident, so you can, take that as you will.
Really, it's one of those things. I feel like it doesn't really matter. Like in the end, like you can always execute kind of like not as well as you think you do, but then at the same time, you end up doing really well, and then it's you win still. That's ultimately especially in the next round with the bracket. That's really what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And like this mode is so tough, and if you generally make like, many even minor or major mistakes, you're most likely going to lose just because there's just no, you just can't do it. I mean, everything's so tight to begin with, and
it's just too short of a mode. Any 30-second time loss is quite significant.
but I mean that's even just more credit to you because you keep winning. You're the previous champion. You've won all of this. I mean, with the margin of error being so little to have a loss, and for some reason no one can beat you. It's impressive. All right, you don't have to say it. I will. It's fine. It's very impressive. Oh, but sick. GG's. Man, I don't think Furame's going to be joining us for the interview.
No,
It doesn't like to talk to Kyong or something. I'm not sure what it is.
I
It's not gonna
Well,
go.
I was gonna say I feel like we still have to earn that right. We haven't done enough penance to earn that beautiful right.
But yeah, man. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm sure there is some hot spoiler log action happening. I don't know if there's any later tonight. Maybe like tomorrow or long wind and sense to pull up the schedule. Yeah, like there's a well, maybe the Roken and Pika Pals match is literally going on right now. It should be close to the end. You guys can go check out the finish line there.
I don't know if that's being restreamed. The one that is being restreamed, and I could tell you is being restreamed, is on Sunday. Sunday morning. Very important match actually. 10:15 a.m. Zelda and Christos Owen are playing each other. They're both 4-2 right now. And looking at the scores and everything, Zelda is the 8th one in. So Zelda is the 1-2 loss runner that's 4-2 runner that's in right now. So Zelda definitely needs a nice strong win for the average, because we don't quite know who else is going to be 5-2, and that's going to play a role maybe who gets in. And Christos would love to have a win and get the 5-2 as well. So that's going to be a very important match for those two, and it's going to be a very good match. Those are two excellent runners. Yep. We're going to wrap up quick here. We got a Luigi's Mansion tournament match coming up here next. So if you want to catch that, stay tuned. But remember, someone out there loves you, and we love you too. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
GG's. Thanks, guys.